Let's go a little more up. So, Latianos, and the thing that I want to actually highlight for me personally, if you're here and it's a date night or it's like, it's one of those places where you want to get a stick to your ribs, is there, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there prime rib steak? But actually, the one that I took was the 10-ounce ribeye steak, cooked to mid rare. I'm gonna do the medium, and the reason why I'm gonna do medium is, like I said earlier in the previous clip, was the ribeye is a very fatty piece of meat, filled with a lot of sinew, collagen, and all of that. And one thing that I do appreciate in this location that the Waipahu doesn't is they actually take their time to do what's called a method of what's reverse searing. And what reverse searing is where you bring the steak up to temperature in the oven, and then what you're doing for texture on the outside is after when it reaches a specific temperature, I believe for mid rare is around 125 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to be doing it. You're going to be heating it in a pan with a little bit of herb butter or some butter, garlic, rosemary, thyme, and you're going to be just searing it, just to get that crunch and that what they call that Maillard reaction, that crust that you see on a very well-developed piece of steak or any type of protein. And then another one that I want to highlight is if you're not really feeling peckish, or you're not really feeling like gorging yourself like I am, which I might regret later, they have this sample platter, if I can find it, and it's all reasonably priced. I mean, tax and tip total, you're probably looking to spend per person. It's not cheap by my standards, but it's reasonably priced. Like, for example, the ribeye steak here is around $21, and the sampler platters. Where is the sampler platter? But they have a sampler platter for $15. So total, if you're actually going to be buying the meal that you see and that you see me eating, it'll be roughly $40, maybe $50. That's very pricey on one end, but if you have like a group of people, $50 you can split. Like, the portion sizes here as well are bigger. It's I think about a half portion bigger than the Waipahu location, and you'll see what I mean later. It's good. So I got my calamari.
Saying hi.
Thank you. It's
You're
alright.
welcome.
I know when you go like,
That's alright. Yeah. It's actually Mukbang. We're doing stuff for YouTube. So it's a Mukbang. It's eating on camera. So
nice. They keep coming to Tiago.
yeah, always. No, and plus I got the reason why I'm shooting it here is because I got called out by somebody who lives in West Lawn that works at the Waipahu location. I made like a small rant video of how this location is a lot better than the Waipahu.
Oh, hey!
So,
Awesome!
So, brother, whoever, if you're watching this, I'm gonna show you why. First off, the calamari here, it's not runny, it's not greasy, and you can actually see the fish glisten. There's a crunch to their batter. But no, that was all for sure. But in all seriousness though, what I like about their calamari, so what I like about their calamari versus the Waipahu location is that there's a crunch and it's not greasy. They drain it very well. And it's not overcooked. In fact, this is actually the best batch.
Thank you very much.
This is actually the best batch that I've actually had. Simply because, I'm not saying that because the staff was talking to me in this mukbang video. I'm not saying that because I'm trying to make buddy with the cook chef. This is actually a very, very good crunch. The calamari, generally when you cook calamari, it's hard to get really good temperature. it's hard to get the texture of the calamari right because calamari there's zero fat. It's mostly tendon. If you were to liken this to a braised tendon texture, that's basically what calamari is for me. That's what the way that I'll describe it. But the one thing that I like is it's not too brown. It's an even coating. It's an even coating of breading, and it's really good. Like, and they're not really heavy on the aioli. The aioli. What I mean by it's not too heavy on the aioli is that, well, even though the aioli or the dressing is covering it, it doesn't. It's not compromising the texture of the food. Texture, especially when it comes to dishes like this, the Shanghai rolls or the lumpia. Texture is everything to the dish because majority of the time, the filling or the protein that it's being battered with doesn't have that much flavor. All you would need to enhance it and doesn't need to have much flavor added to it. All you would need is like simple dressing like this. And since the dressing for me is a little bit too rich, what I do is I just douse it in lemon juice. And what the lemon juice does is it adds another level or another depth of flavor. But for their calamari is better than the white calamari.
I usually like have on like not clear ones every time you make it.
So I'm gonna push this aside. I'm not gonna be like your average mukbang where I eat everything on camera. I'm gonna definitely try to, but I'm not gonna eat everything on camera. I love the calamari here specifically because, as I tried to say, and hopefully I'll repeat it, the breading is on point. The texture of the fish, the texture of the calamari is cooked perfectly. It's not too rubbery. It's not too soft where it's like mush. You still have that toothsome flavor. The breading itself is really well seasoned. The only critique that I would have is the drizzle. It's an antiquated form of garnishing. It's an edible garnish. That's the only negative that there is, but it's just a small, minute negative that makes a very muted point. Another one that I like is their Shanghai rolls. And one thing I do appreciate is when you batch make these Shanghai rolls, I don't know if they make this in house or you buy it, but they make a point on trimming the edges. And what I like about trimming the edges is that it releases the steam, and steam inside these actually ruin the texture of a lumpia. In Tagalog we call this lumpia, but the egg roll itself, let's try it. I'm gonna try it first. I kind of fucked up because I dipped it first before I ate it. It's a simple pork meat filling, nicely seasoned with a little bit. You have that ginger, nice, and then let's try with the dip. It's good. That's good. One thing I like about their egg rolls is it's fresh, it's hot, and even if you let it set at room temperature, it's still crispy. So I tried it when it's hot. Let's give it a go when it gets to just above room temperature. So, two things about Tiano's Ever Beach. So to the brother that confronted me, who lives in West Rock, works at the White Pahu location. I'm not saying that your White Pahu location isn't good. I'm just saying that the cooks at the White Pahu location don't know how to cook for shit. The reason why I say that, and I stand by that statement, is how the hell are you going to serve 4 people in a row, and I will never forget this even though it was 2 years ago. How the fuck are you going to serve steak that is chewy as fuck on the outside, cold as hell in the middle, and then pass that off as a medium rare steak? At the same time, I had a friend who got food poisoning from you guys. It's already come in the shot. So we got the ribeye. Yeah. And this is not a formal mukbang, so that's alright. But yeah, so, and how the hell are you gonna come and say that you're cooking really good food, yet the food that you're cooking is crap. Now, this is a plate of food. Now, granted, it's a stark contrast between styrofoam and a plate and fork and knife setting brick and mortar store. But the quality of the food, regardless of what setting of place it is or where you put your food in as a vehicle, shouldn't matter. So since we're at the state why we're here, let's cut this. I ordered this medium. Now the reason why I say medium is it's rather hard to get it to perfect medium. So if it goes to medium rare, it's perfectly fine for me, or medium well, it's perfectly fine because with the ribeye itself, it's so fatty and it has so much collagen and connective tissue. Hey, perfect timing. That it's perfectly done. And yes, it is perfectly medium, edge to edge medium. Let me try to get the piece that I cut. So if you guys can see that gradient, that gradient that you see is instead of when you just cook it raw to the pan or raw to the grill, there is what they call a mark or a ring, and that ring is basically the temperature difference between the center of the meat and the outer portions of the meat that's exposed to the heat. And when I touch base on the reverse sear method, when you have edge to edge pinkness, that is a perfectly good sign of perfection in the oven. In fact, no, this is actually the better portion. You see how it's, I can't read, I don't have a selfie screen, so you see how it's nice and pink all the way through? That pink all the way through, regardless of the fat and sinew that you see, that you've already seen, is a sign that the cooks in the back know what the fuck they're doing. So let's try it texturally, no seasoning, no nothing. I don't know what they put on here. Butter. Most like butter. Yeah. They definitely use an herb butter when they finish it. They didn't use the butter when they baste it. And the reason why is you can taste those grill marks on the flat top that or the grill that they're using. And the reason why I can say that is because oftentimes when you're using gas and propane, there's a small hit of gas that hits the back of your throat when you eat. But generally speaking, this is a perfectly cooked piece of meat. And the reason why I said the 10-ounce steak is because I stand by the statement that these fuckers know how to cook. 10 ounces is a thin piece of meat. Probably, I would say no more than probably a quarter, maybe a half an inch thick cut of meat. And no matter what you do, no matter what cut of beef you have, it will always be overdone. What Tiamos does and the Eva Beach location does better than the Waipahu location in the portion sizing is, let me see if I can bring this without ruining, if I can remember the position of the camera. What I appreciate about this portion size is it's about a half a portion bigger. Their fries, if you were to put it, would actually be overflowing outside the container. But going back to how the meat is cooked and why I chose the 10-ounce portion is because of two reasons. The thinner the steak, the harder it is to cook perfectly. The thinner the steak, the harder it is to nail a buttery texture that the ribeye is known for. Now, the ribeye is one of the best cuts, in my opinion. Not one of my favorites, but it's definitely in my top 10 of favorite cuts of beef. And the reason why it's in my top 10 is, there's somebody in my video. The reason why it's in my top 10 is its texture. And when you bite into the ribeye more specifically, you want to have that melt in your mouth feel, like at least 2 or 3 bites and then swallow. The reason why I like their fries too, and I ordered all fries, is it's a steak and potatoes type of idea for this mukbang. It could be crispier, but definitely though, one thing I do appreciate too is with most diners, which is honest for me, I would classify as a diner, is that it's one of those things where when you take out the fries, it's always greasy. They actually take the time to grease it, and they actually salt it as it comes out of the oil. The hot oil, you really salt. You get that seasoning, you get that salinity, and it's really good. So it's about a few minutes. The lumpia is warm, and I also said that the lumpia itself is good in room temperature. If I have a louver on my t-shirt, you could hear the crunch. There is a crunch while the filling is nice and juicy. It's flavorful. I just get
Everything going okay?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Your steak cooked good.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. Generally speaking, too, when it comes to the steak in this size, no matter what portion you get, it's like I said, it's always hard to cook really well. The chefs at Tiano's, the cooks at Tiano's do a great job. But yeah. So to the management of Tiano's Waipahu, I defy you, or rather, I dare you to come up with an excuse of why your cooks can't cook better than your sister location here in Ever Beach. In my eyes, Tiano's Waipahu and Ever Beach are two completely different organizations, even though you guys share the same brand and basically probably the same owners. The standards of cleanliness, the standards of cooking are really night and day difference. If I were to go to the Waipahu location and do this mukbang, would I get the same type of service? Because I would say now, from the out to off camera, you heard one of the servers asking me if I'm doing okay and how my steak was doing. You don't get that anywhere else. Like, I understand that you're running a food truck in that location, but building that rapport with the community that you're serving is one of the biggest things that keeps a business successful. And especially if your food is on point with the customer service, I mean, it's one of those things where your business won't survive. Just having the time to tell a story with your customer every so often is good. And if you heard in the background, there's constant communication. It seems the synergy of the staff works really well, and that also goes to how well the food is being prepared. So again, Tiano's Waipahu, to the management, I dare you to come up with a better excuse or a better product than your sister location in Ever Beach. Because while yes, you are under the same brand and probably the same ownership, you guys are a different franchise entirely. Why? Because of the service, especially because of the food for me. When I especially go to food trucks, I look for fast, easy, convenient cooking. This took less than 10 minutes to cook. In total, I would say probably less than 15-minute wait on my ticket time. At the Waipahu location, it took 30 minutes just to cook all of this. Now, it stands to reason that yes, smaller space, limited capacity, but it goes to show that your chefs that work at that food truck location does not do their due diligence in their prep work. The chefs over here, while they have probably a good walk-in and whatnot, and everything in their mise en place, meaning their prep, when they prep cook, has everything squared away, it doesn't matter. They pushed out a better and superior quality product than your location, Tiano's Waipahu. So I'm just saying, if you have a disgruntled employee who can't cook for shit, you should fire him. But before I close and give this outro, big shout out to the Ever Beach Tiano's location for allowing me to videotape. Most restaurants that don't allow that, so this is probably the second restaurant that's vlogger friendly. I really do suggest that, especially if you're coming from the mainland or anywhere outside the state of Hawaii, come to Ever Beach, check out what we got here. While we may not be the glitz and glamour that is Kapolei, Waikele, Waikiki especially, I mean, we do have a down-to-earth vibe here at the beach, and it is reflected in the community, it's reflected in the restaurants, and it's one of those places where you can grab a really reasonable price meal. Granted, the only main attraction here in Ever Beach is the Hawaii Prince golf course here, but aside from the food here specifically, if you're a foodie looking for a reasonably priced meal, I mean, I would say for this total would be around $40. $40 is a steal. It's big flavors, simply produced food, but they have the biggest flavor for an insane price point. The staff here embodies the idea of aloha and ohana. They treat you like family, make sure that you're fed and everything is on point. They take everything to heart, and you can't find that anywhere else on Oahu except here in the beach. So with that being said, hopefully you guys like this video. Come check out Tiana's Republic. We're located right off Fort Weaver Road. So basically, your landmarks to get to this place, if you're going down Fort Weaver Road off the beach, is the Lalani Village Shopping Center down Fort Weaver, past the Foodland of the beach, which is also off Fort Weaver. So basically, you're going to be traveling roughly, I would say, a good 6 miles past after the H1 freeway down Fort Weaver Road. Then you'll be passing a promenade of houses, and then they'll be located there. I'll probably put the link or the address in the description below. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you like the video, like, comment, and share. And hopefully you guys come to Tiana's River Beach, try everything. I tried recently their French dip sandwich. Not really that impressive, to be honest. The only reason why I say it's not that impressive is because when I think of roast French dip sandwich, I think of rich, unctuous broth to dip my sandwich in. But other than that, if you want an awesome roast beef sandwich, fuck Arby's. Come here. That's probably going to be another video for another time that I'm going to touch base on. But in regards to the food here, for Eva Beach specifically, it's one of the better places to eat that's outside the norm. They serve American cuisine, they serve Filipino food, hell, lumpia, they sell lumpia, and all of that. So, if you are in the area or if you live in Eva Beach like I do, check Tiana's out. I don't know why this place isn't packed. Like the staff here is super friendly. The cooks here know what the fuck they're doing. It's fast. It's fast for a dining institution. 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes is par for a lot of restaurants. They probably did it. I should have timed it. That's the mistake that I made. But I would have to say it was less than 15 minutes, just over 10, that I got this food. And the reason why is because you want to make the steak rest and all of that. But everything else, the starters came within, I would say, less than 3 minutes of me ordering it. The steak came almost shortly after. And yeah, I can't speak any greater about Tiana's. And I would say great things about this restaurant in front of the employees and outside the employees. Like if somebody were to say like, well, I'm not into the Chinese restaurant, I'm not into like the McDonald's or whatever, I would definitely say Tiana's Eva Beach, hands down. So as always, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.